I know about this right here. Time ain't low, and it sure ain't free. If you wanna move it, I'll do it now. Put that loving on me. Scared money don't make none. I know about this right Baby, here. Talk is cheap. I gotta unmute stuff. If you wanna move it, I'll do it now. All right, here we go. What is going on? Scared money don't make none. I know about this right Baby, here. Talk is cheap. Oh, I got my own streamception going on. I accidentally had my stream open in the background. Waste my time. That's what you come here for, though. The terrible starts. My time ain't low, and it sure ain't free. If I could have predicted this series, it would have been Lakers in 3. But they fumbled 2 games up. But we back on the beat. All right, I'm done. What's going on, everybody? I am here once again with a short or longer stream, depending on, you know what I'm saying, how long or if anything actually happens in here. I know it's a game going on right now, so it's probably not going to be too many people up in here rocking out with me today. But as last time, not the main, but one of the purposes of this here stream, let me get on the actual screen that I'm streaming on, is to inform you all tomorrow, playback stream, silver screen and roll. Got the link in the description, and you can see it up here. You can see the channel right here. If you would be so kind, if you're watching this now or in the future, go to silver screen and roll, hit that join button. You know what I'm saying? Become one of the members. Come through, watch a game with us. Initially, I'm gonna show you how this works. Initially, if you come to the stream, you'll see a screen like this where it has scores. I'm gonna be on camera, you know what I'm saying, talking about the game, going through the game, all that other stuff. But they do have special things on here called VIP passes. And what that does is, I want to show you that. What that does is it shows you the game as it's going. So like you're basically watching the game with me in real time. Didn't mean to show that, but you know, whatever. It's showing the game in real time, and we can watch the game together. You know what I'm saying? Rock out. We have 20 available passes. You know what I'm saying? So chances are people don't ask for them much during the stream because we still growing. So chances are you might be able to get one if you ask for one. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Same kind of thing we do over here. Analysis, a little bit of jokes, a little bit of witticisms, extreme handsomeness, of course, that's a given. And we're just gonna rock out like that. Anything else? I'm gonna just go through this game a little bit. I'm not sure of the rules on like streaming whole games. As you can see, I got, you know what I'm saying, some unmentionables up there that I could use to actually watch this thing in its totality. But I'm gonna just run through these plays and see what's going on. I remember I have good recall on games, so I'm not somebody that forgets what happens generally. But I just want to see what was going on in the macro sense. But as you can see, these possessions don't start where you would want them to. Like we can see when Reeves decided to double and all these other things that skip passes to a big man out there, a big tall man shooting a spot up jumper. So like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want that to happen too often. And I think we did a good job of limiting things like that throughout the course of the game. But, you know what I'm saying? Still took a mean L out here. I don't remember what the first set was. A little pick and roll. Rui actually made a good decision here. He was shaky in the pick and roll all night. He was shaky in the everything all night. Getting nasty in the finishing streets and he seemed like he was pressing a little bit. He seemed a little nervous. His jumpers were strong. He was missing layups. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. He had a good look for Austin though. This is a evolution of Rui, so to speak. Even though maybe I don't know if he could have got that past the AD on the short roll. A better passer may be able to have got a ball fake up there, have Jokic commit and dump that off. But he also made a good read. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of swarmed, so he saw the open man, made a quick, decisive pass. Austin just didn't knock it down. It is what it is, though. What is we doing? Yeah, money, though. What says it's private? Because it's usually a little more shenanigans going on at the time, but not right now. But that's all good. Let's look at that again. A little back screen. Oh, he did a little. They call that is it called veer in the business? I don't know. I thought that was on ball, off ball, but who knows? But set 2 screens, got some screens of his own. Got to where he wanted to get to. He was missing a lot of shots. He was throwing up some nonsense out there. See if Reeves got back into the play commendably. He showed out on Jokic, got back into the play, got around the screen, even though it wasn't really a solid screen from Gordon. Didn't really get a great contest. Rui kind of dig down a little bit to make Murray think about it. Maybe that's why he went up a little earlier than he should have. The pickup point. Yeah, he picked it up to kind of get away, and Brown was kind of there. Same. Good defense, I guess, you know. Oh yeah, I forgot they got rebounds and everything, and these KCP got a steal like this later in the game. We have been susceptible to turnovers in the early transition all season. LeBron's been the main culprit in terms of outletting the ball, either too far, too short. Just we've left a lot of points on the table or a lot of possessions on the table and stuff like this. But this one worked out for us. D'Lo, his jumper looked different all night. Like I can't like physically explain what was going on, but like his jump seemed repeatable. Like most of the time his feet is doing everything, he's drifting everywhere, but this was more straight up and down than I've seen his jumper in a long time. And when I saw that first one go in, and then the second one was almost the same, even though it was a step back, had the same amount of like lift on it and, you know what I'm saying, form and everything, I said, oh, this boy about to be cooking, and that's what he started doing. I see a question in the chat or a comment. What do you use to watch those plays? Okay, so this is a site called thehighlow.com or the highlow.io right here. I'll type it in because that has a whole bunch of stuff in it. Oh, it's the highlow.io or the highlow.com. And you can watch individual player highlights here. You can choose from the whole list of the NBA. You could scroll through the play types, and within those play types, the type of shots they have. So let's say we want to see LeBron James assists. You would go to LeBron James, and then you would filter out all the things you don't want, like this right here. And then it's basically, it just takes the NBA.com play thing. It categorizes it a little bit better, and it's a better interface for it. So like say you wanted to see all of the plays that LeBron James, if this would load for me. So they have a filter on here as well. So as you can see, this is all of LeBron James assists. All of these plays are LeBron James assists. But if you wanted to filter, like you want to see all of the plays he assisted on that was a dunk, you would go to this filter tab right here. You would type dunk, and every one of these assists would be something that he assisted on for a dunk. What I'm currently doing right now, because I can watch games on like League Pass and stuff like that, but I don't know what the rules are for streaming League Pass to your, like old League Pass games to your stream. So I don't want to like get in trouble, but they also have full like games on here, but they're not like the full games. They're just individual plays spliced together. And so that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the Nuggets Lakers one right here. You just click submit, and it takes you through every play that pretty much happened, rebounds, all of that stuff. It doesn't filter out like I did on the last thing. I actually have it on dunks right now on accident, but you can still filter out to where only plays that end in an assist. You can see that, and that's how you do all of that stuff. What did I say? Oh, so that's super awesome things. Yeah, no problem, man. A lot of people don't know about it for some reason. We had to get it out the mud before this. We had to use extensions to download off the NBA.com website, because it used to be you could just go to NBA.com and download them right off the site. You could still watch them that way, but in the past couple years, particularly since this site has been in existence, like the NBA.com site does not work well at all. Like you can't. You used to be able to. Let me see. I can go to let's see, D'Angelo Russell. So you used to be able to just come here, and they would have all of the stats in hyperlinks where you can find them. You would go to like his splits or whatever, and say you wanted to find, like you want to see all of his assists. You click on this hyperlink, it'll take you to the assist. That one probably still work. But if you wanted to get real into the nitty gritty of it with shot types and all these other things, you could filter by shot types, locations, like distance, all this other stuff. But now when you try to do these things, it doesn't really work like it used to. I'm gonna see if it actually works now. So shots from less than 5 feet, just those field goal attempts, it would filter it for you here, and then it would show it for you. But when I try to do that now, see all of these things are up, and it's running layup, jump shot, driving layup shot. Like, oh, maybe it is fixed again. It doesn't look like it, but maybe it is. But for a while, this didn't work. So it would just compile all of his shots here, makes or misses, and it was just it became unwieldy. So this site has just become available over the past 2 or 3 years, and it's what I use to make the assist compilations and all of that other stuff. Is very useful. But anyway, back to the buckets. If you don't know, get some Yakult in your life. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly a probiotic drink. I don't know. I just know it's delicious. But got a little drip. See, I want to show the full play, bro. I don't want to risk it for the biscuit. But it's important to see the sets and how they got to this being some kind of, because one man could say, "Oh, this looks like horns," but they're a little too far out. But it's the same kind of two fella shenanigans. But we got a screen into a handoff. KCP turning that corner. Nice little kick out to is that Brian? No, I mean not Brian. It's Gordon. And that man has not I think he was 5 for 10 last game. He hasn't really hit any threes or made us pay for anything too crazy. I am actually somewhat concerned about that. Not really, but he's been a little quieter than I thought he would be so far. I don't particularly remember too many lobs. It was a lob in game 1 that he got from the dunker spot and stuff, but I think we've contained him pretty well in terms of any additional offensive output. And this is the shot that we want to force them to take. So D'Lo did a decent enough job getting around the screen, even though AD and LeBron were ready to contain, and they kind of baited them into this shot right here. So this is a win for the Lakers anytime you get that man shooting that shot right there. As you can see, he airballed it. And then I don't remember what this possession was. Oh, this is the shot I was talking about with Rui. This is usually automatic. I don't know why. It just seems like he short-armed his follow-through. I can't remember if that's always how he does it. I don't think it is, but just that little subtle, like, he didn't really hold it. Now, he missed, you know what I'm saying? I said he looked a little shaky all game. The shot looks a little better in retrospect than it looked when I first saw it, but maybe I just was reacting to the follow-through than anything, but I'm like, he looked a little shaky on that particular shot. But, oh, I forgot that happened. LeBron been putting his body on the line a lot, man. Old man, taking him in the chest. This is Jamal Murray, so it probably didn't feel too crazy. But he's been taking a lot of charges, particularly since the play-in has started in the game before that, towards the end of the season, really sacrificing his body because he's going to have to be the guy that kind of rotates on the back end and does those things because we don't really have capable defenders to play the role that he ultimately is going to play in this defense. And the defense has been better recently just because of him deciding to really turn up on that end because, you know what I'm saying, we have missed somebody of a similar size and speed and athletic profile on this defense for years at this point. And, well, Vandal kind of fits that, but he's not as sturdy on the lower half, but he can fit some of the chasing requirements and the rotation requirements and things like that. But LeBron's uptick in defensive engagement has been very important. Can't really see what that was. Looked like he curled around an off-ball screen from Jokic and got a direct path to the cup. But, you know what I'm saying, they trying to, I don't know what they're doing with this camera angle here. This is not the TNT broadcast, so it is what it is. But LeBron is not able to effectively protect the rim off one step like that anymore. So he tried to get his body in the way again. And PJ just made a good move, left-hand layup. It is what it is, man. But I'm not about to run through all these plays because we would be here forever. That's cash money. As you can see, what I was talking about earlier, just the straight up and down nature of these shots. Usually he has a little more of a backwards lean on these shots. This was a more straight up and down, no wasted motion. clean transfer pickup, cash money. You know what I'm saying? But over the course of these two games, um, the Lakers have pretty much gotten what they wanted when they've actually run offense, and that's been the crux of my argument for this team all year. It was part of the reason why we struggled during the December stretches and all this other stuff we can say about individual guys not playing well and things like that. But a lot of that was a direct result of the way we were going about doing things, the offensive process that we had over the course of the game, where we knew we had two stars and we mostly just tried to backline. Let's see, was it 2 steps this time? Yeah, see, he was able to get two two full steps this time on the rotation and get to the rim. Also, it helps that it's Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray kind of dunked on him in the first game, so I'm sure he was trying to make sure that that did not happen again. But the Lakers' offense, as I was alluding to before I got distracted, is prone to bouts of mismatch hunting, and in theory, it is like as a team that has LeBron James and Anthony Davis. If this was 2-3 years ago, you would think you're probably gonna have the upper hand in every scenario in which you decide to mismatch hunt with one of those two guys. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've seen though that one, LeBron doesn't necessarily have that extra gear in the half court where he can just do that from the top of the key anymore. Maybe from the mid post, you know what I'm saying, wing area where he doesn't have to dribble as much. He can get into his face up game and stuff like that. He still has a size and strength advantage and a quickness advantage in those respects, but it's a little different from the top of the key where you have to go through more bodies, get where you want to go, and you have to kind of rely on your vert a little bit more in the lane to kind of get around defenders and things like that, as opposed to getting a step on somebody, putting your body on them, and just putting it up on the glass without as much athletic pop necessary. And in AD's case, he struggles with a certain prototype of guy, certain archetype of guy from a strength and length standpoint to where he can get baited into some things. And we kind of saw that last game, but only from the LeBron aspect of it. We kind of mismatch hunted with with AD in some respects on Jokic, but that was more so in actions, pick and roll and other kind of post up scenarios for AD where we kind of cleared out for him and let him go to work. I'm really encouraged by AD's offensive, like the way he's going about his offense in this series. Not only because he's using the jumper more, but that's gonna come and go. So like some days, like if he tries to have a game like he had not yesterday, the day before, last game, it might not be as successful just for the simple fact that his jumper might not be on, and that's perfectly fine. But what I am happy about is the fact that he's not trying to go through Jokic. In previous matchups, he's kind of gotten baited into like physicality, sumo wrestling type contests. We've seen him do it with Şengün. He's tried to do it with Sabonis, where his advantages are speed, quickness, and his athleticism over those guys. And we've seen in the first 2 games that he's using a lot of his ability to go up and over Jokic instead of trying to plow through him, save for a few possessions. And he's allowing his touch and his skill and his athleticism and length to kind of do the work for him as opposed to trying to grind out possessions and things like that. So if he remains this decisive and the touch remains there and his jumper is still on, then we still have a very good chance to win this series. I'll just say that. I expected them to come out with the requisite like intensity and a game plan to kind of do something good in game 2. I wasn't expecting them to kind of dominate the way they did in the first half. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that just generally. But I think it's a very good sign that after the game 1 loss that they didn't. They were in game 2 the whole game. They pretty much had control of it for the most part, because sometimes either if you sneak a game 1, you come in game 2 unfocused, you get blown out the water, all this stuff, or you could have a loss in game 1 and get blown out the water as well in game 2. Like game 2s are always tricky in series for the road team, and I think they reported themselves well for of course we want them to win the game and all of that other stuff, but I think that the transition between games and knowing that we didn't make any adjustments that made us worse necessarily. Like we could be worried about with a Darvin Ham, and we're having a whole situation with him and AD right now in the media and all this other stuff, whatever. But the fact that we had a good game plan for game 2 and we were able to execute it for 38 of 48 minutes is like really encouraging, particularly with most of the bench playing terribly, and our other two guys, whether it be D'Lo in the first game with the shooting struggles, or Rui and Austin. Rui in both games, but he played a little better in game one. And Austin's kind of just been there. He's been playing great defense on Jamal. Well, great by his standards, what we can reasonably expect from him. But uh, hopefully we get a little uptick from the other guys in the home arenas. You know what I'm saying? With crypto behind them, and we could kind of create distance and keep distance in some of these games. If we have to grind out some wins, it'll be more likely to happen on our home floor as well. I don't think the Nuggets role players have played particularly well, though, and that kind of worries me a little bit. Particularly KCP hasn't really played that well in either one of these two games, and Jamal Murray hasn't really played well either. Michael Porter Jr. has, though. He's that boy just never misses. I'm just of the mind that eventually he's gonna not make like 5 threes against us. Like, hopefully that happens at least 2 times. You know what I'm saying? But even if that does happen, I do think that we match up better with them this year, not necessarily from a roster standpoint, even though I think our roster is better. I did mention Taurean Prince kind of being an important player in this series, just for the simple fact that we didn't have that archetype of player last year. Like, we had Troy Brown, but like he wasn't a reliable shooter, and putting the ball on the ground, he had some of the Taurean adventurousness with the passes and things like that, but we just needed a steady wing contributor, and I think that Taurean has provided that so far, and it's helped us out. But I don't remember the train of thought, but the same could be said for the Nuggets as well, in terms of like guys who are figuring things out during the course of the series. If they start to get going in conjunction with a Murray playing better, or a Jokic, you know what I'm saying, deciding that he's just going to put 50 on us, I don't know how that would look for us, but I do think we're better equipped to hang with them over the course of a game, just due to more familiarity with our our starting lineup, and just our top 6 guys in general, to where everybody seems to kind of know what they're doing, where shots are coming from, and what's expected of them on a night-to-night basis. Whereas last year we kind of had some floaty things going on, where you could see plays where people are telling Rui where to cut, and D'Lo's not involved in the offense for like quarters at a time and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to see things like that anymore. I think we have a more balanced attack to go at these guys with, and then they're they're a little weaker on the other end in terms of having veterans off the bench that can kind of stand the tide in the non-Jokic minutes and things of that nature. So with all of those things like in our favor, I do think that we get game 3 and 4. I'm putting it on the table. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying Lakers in 6, partially, you know what I'm saying, trolling, but like mostly just because if they're going to win the series, that's probably the way that they're going to have to win it. I'm not too concerned about if there was a game 7, LeBron and AD showing up for it necessarily in that arena. You never know what could happen in the game 7, but history tends to favor home teams in those situations. So I was going game 6 just in general, just because like that was the path to victory. But after seeing this, I still believe in it. It's just going to be difficult to beat a team 4 times in 5 games. But not 4 times in 5 games, 4 times in 4 games. So this might be a 7-game series. But I still do think the Lakers can win this series. I'm not wavering off of that. I don't think they've particularly guarded D'Lo well at all in this series, and it's just been make or miss for him. Now, maybe they have some adjustments we haven't seen. I don't know. But if this is how they're going to continue to guard him specifically, I think they're going to have problems for the whole series. AD is prone to some offensive lapses. If he does have one of those, the question of whether we can survive one of those is a little more murky. But I do think that we have all the tools necessary to win these games. They're just going to keep showing it. Unless I'm rewinding that without knowing it. I probably was, because I do that when I talk sometimes. I forgot what I was saying. But I do think we're equipped to survive offensive droughts. We've seen that because we've been guarding them better this year in terms of how we're guarding Jokic. He's going to get his points regardless, but our rotations have been better on the back end. We're more decisive in the things that we're trying to force them to do, as opposed to last year where we would have plays where we have Dennis hovering in the mid-range area, acting like he's going to double for 18 seconds and then finally committing. Like, we're not doing stuff like that anymore. We seem to have a better understanding of what Denver is trying to do out there and what we want to take away from them. And of course, that changes from quarter to quarter, game to game. So there's no telling what the actual like adjustments are going to be for this game, because offensively, although the Rui and like the Rui switch where they switched Jokic onto him because Rui was particularly struggling, like they were still getting to the parts of the floor that they wanted to get to. Rui was just struggling. So maybe that's still an adjustment that warrants exploration from the Lakers' part. Just hopefully that Rui plays better in those situations. Of course, you want AD and Bron in those actions if that could be like the actual game plan, and, and the Nuggets kind of oblige you by not making adjustments like that so early. But there's still a lot of series to be seen, man. I just know that they getting the win while I'm streaming on playback.tv/silver screen and roll. You can see it right here. Once again, we got 87 members. We're trying to at least get to 100. You know what I'm saying? It's generally a lot of people in there while the game is on. Upwards of 100 people are watching at the same time. Like I said, you can watch the live broadcast with us via a VIP pass. You can sync up your TV to our commentary on there while we're watching the game. I'm saying just hang out and talk in the chat, ask some questions. You know what I'm saying? Have a little shenanigans. We can do that. What is this? Already. Oh, okay. I opened it earlier for the demonstration earlier. Other than that, what are we doing? I'm gonna run through a couple more of these plays just to see what's going on. Let me see. Yeah, man, this is not enough headway to see what's going on. This looks like the play where they reversed the I know it's not that play, but wait, is it? Yeah, this is that play, I believe. Yeah, this is the play that got reviewed. Marginal contact number 1, hand part of the ball shenanigans, if you say so. I was wondering why they were so adamant to just challenge this. Like it winded up mattering because 2 points cost us the game, but like a challenge that early on to call that innocuous, I'm not a fan of it. But they made it happen. Christian Brown was doing a lot of things, getting in the gaps, getting layups, getting out in transition. I don't know how much you can really contain those kind of things from a certain standpoint. It's kind of like you want the ball swung to him, but he was good at moving off ball, being decisive, getting to the little, you know what I'm saying? Getting it up on the glass. Jackson did his best to kind of recover. Let me see what Jackson was doing before. I do like that they showed out high when Jackson was in the game, just in general, because that's what he's best at. Instead of having him meander in this no man's land right here, he's not particularly good in drop. He is good at blitzing guys and using his length and his speed to not only show but also recover. And then he was still able to he didn't really do anything, but like the fact that he kind of gave the effort is the point to where he can repeat that kind of stuff. Okay, then. Nice little, we like that this man's floater game has been uber trash. But, Sam, fake handoff, back screen for a lob that was not there. And he comes off the ball. Could be a handoff or just a pass. Shot fake, not shot fake, but the idea of a shot made that man commit to the closeout. He got to step on him, just didn't finish. But good offensive process, though. That's what we like to see. Any actions involving LeBron and D'Lo making decisions and kind of playing off of one another is when this offense is at its best. And just didn't quite get a good enough floater up there. He used to be much better at floaters. I don't know what happened this season, but I think he's putting a little too much. I don't know what he's doing, to be completely honest with you. So they're not really they haven't really been a successful shot for him this year. Hopefully he can kind of figure that out. Wait, what was that? He fell at the end. Oh, he got fouled on the rebound attempt, I believe. Yeah. Okay. But I only plan to be here for like 30 minutes. I wasn't gonna be here too long. When it's people got other things to do, evidently by the amount of people that's in here. So I'm gonna call it here again. Silver screen and roll slash playback.tv/silver screen and roll. We will be there tomorrow. VIP passes are available if you want to watch the game with us in real time. And yeah, I don't got too much else for you. About to go out here and get a little more handsomer for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Get my knowledge up a little bit. Might read a little basketball scripture or something. Watch a little film. And